everyone. Welcome to another horror review. Horrorific. Sorry. Sinuses decided just to play up 10 minutes before I went to go on, as always. Anyhow, right. I'm a bit of a weird one. This was like the third movie I tried to watch. Two, I started and I got about 10 minutes out. I'm like, nah. One was a possession thing, which I'm like, God, not another. I've done a couple of those recently. I wasn't in the mood for another one. It just seemed very, very trite. Another one was supposed to be a comedy. And bloody hell, it was a slog to get through. And I just gave up after a point. And the bit hadn't even happened. That was supposed to be. It was another possession movie. And oh God. Anyway. Have people forgotten to be funny these days, or like have a genuine personality? Like I've seen the wooden planks, these type of movies, but so be it. I suppose I had a lucky run last week, so of course I'm going to get a few crap ones. I still don't know how I feel about this movie, if I'm honest. How to put it? I don't know whether to spoil it or not either. It was a slog. It was real slow burner to start off. So, premise of the story is Eli, the main character of the story. He's got some sort of immunodeficiency disease. You know these movies have done before. They live in a tent bubble. The outside world can't touch them. Everything has to be sanitized. They have the cosy take. Not immunoblockers, but things that happen during immunization because like a breath of fresh air will kill them. So that's how it starts. And then they've got word of this miracle clinic that's going to cure it all in one procedure. Yeah. Then it gets weird because they head to the place. They have to stop over the motel, and this weird motel scene. I don't know what they're trying to achieve with it, right? A bunch of trailer, was it trailer trash to call in America? God, do we have an equivalent? Because they're not even the same as chavs over here. Yeah, that's its own thing in America, the trailer park people. But that's right. These people are living in like caravans beside a motel, one of those shitty roadside ones, and the wee lad has to wear like a biohazard suit, one of them type. We know it's not mental because we actually see the reaction in his body when the thing gets pierced. So we know it's a physical reaction. It's not a mental. So we know this straight away isn't a psychological drama where he's making it up in his head, that sort of thing. So we know that. The way they acted was weird. Just the scene was weird. When he went to pay, because they stayed overnight, and then the guys at the desk says, "Oh, that's 2 night stay," because it was like 9:03 when they checked out. They're just setting them up to be shitty people, but there's no payoff. It's a weird scene. Was it just to be, how the world reacts where they're a bunch of dipshits? They're not normal people, they're dipshits, so it doesn't really count their opinion. Saying a lot. Yeah, I'm very, very confused. Like I said, I only just finished watching it before I set the stream up. I'm really confused how I should feel about this movie. Like that scene was pointless, served no purpose whatsoever, and just made the story longer than it needed to be because it's a real grind to get in the end of this. If I hadn't have started 2 other movies and didn't get to finish them, I'd have done the same with this. But I was like, God, right, I'm 3 movies in. I need to do one. Let's go for it. So I stuck with it. But God, they arrive. It's an old house. Yeah, even the setup. Fuck, I love that. Right. So they arrive. It's like this old Georgian type home. Don't know where it was set, but one of those old style plantation houses anyway. Looks crappy from the outside, but it's got all modern. I mean, the doors like an airlock. So straight away it's weird. Like they could have set this up in a hospital or something, or yeah, I don't get the premise. I think it gets explained later on, but it's just weird. It's weird. So he goes in first, decontaminated, and then the people are waiting for him. The main doctor, already, like, within 5 minutes of meeting the character and the two nurses, they're acting weird. They're giving nudge, nudge, wink, wink to the camera. The subtle looks between each other, which are hitting you over the head with a baseball bat to say something's wrong here. I find that really jarring because here's the thing about these sort of characters. If you're spelling it out and you're making them into villains, or that's a twist, don't beat people over the head. Just have them act normally. So he goes to get settled in his room. He freaks out because for the first time he can take off his suit, and because it's all the air's cleansed. This is the weird thing, right? The air's cleansed, but the people are still people. People still have. We all have bacteria. I mean, reproduced bacteria. We have bacteria living in us. So how do you go from just because the air's been cleaned up a bit to be able to touch people? But like I said, bit weird. Shite, what else? Yeah, starts off, he gets settled in, everyone's being friendly, he's starting his first treatment in the morning. There's something wrong with the husband and wife because blah, 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 subtle. I don't what I mean subtle, I mean you're getting slapped in the face. After what you did, I'm faithful, blah, blah. So she's cheating on him. So you already know it's not how she's not. I mean, you find this out in like fucking 7 minutes, the movie. The more I'm talking about it, the less I'm liking it. I think I'm making my own mind up here sitting. But nah, there you go. So they're starting this guff. Then the next morning he's going for treatment. And of course they can only walk him so far. And then parts of the house are sealed off with like durable plexiglass. Because that needed to happen too. He goes in for the first operation, and then the two nurses act like complete arseholes to the wee lad. Close off, stand here, photograph, just acting like absolute arseholes. Thought to be in the medical profession, I had to have a wee bit of empathy. That's why I'm not in the medical profession, because I've none. But there you go. So straight away they're treating him like a piece of meat. So they're setting him up, there's something sinister going on. Then that night, so they give him what they call it, they're going to rewrite his DNA. So they're injecting a virus into his bone marrow to reprogram it. It's going to be really painful to do. At first, the wee lad that plays us, he made a good effort. I'll say that about him. The wee lad that's playing Eli in this was good. Because he had the performance scenes where he's basically getting operated on while with no anesthetic, because that's the way they're setting it up. You see this stuff in the trailers and all anyway. So he's getting operated on with no anesthetic, all that kind of stuff. And he's actually playing it really well. Some dodgy CGI, but it's done that quickly. Actually, you can forgive it. The effects aren't the worst thing. I think it's just the pace of the story to get towards the end. And then we get, he starts to see stuff. And this is back to, as I say, ghosts are stupid. Ghosts are like, whoa, jump scare, shite. I'm not invested. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, go jump scare, shite, trying to tell him something. Makes no sense. Then he goes down, there's like a conservatory, and this wee girl's hanging about outside. It's what's her face out of Stranger Things, one with the red hair. So she's an important character, because we wouldn't hire her just to be a bit character, but she just happens to live up the road now. We've seen them drive into this place. It's completely abandoned. As in the next house is about 20 miles away, sort of, it's that sort of set of isolation. So you don't just live in the nearest town. It's so that she's up to something. And that's what I mean. That's the problem. It's beating you over the head with plot points, but nothing's going anywhere at any sort of pace. So they're really grinding it out. And normally with these type of movies, I skip to the end. Normally when I see in this jump scare, it's just like fucking skip, right? Okay, that happens, right? I can forget about the movie now. And I have done that with so many in the past because I hate it. It kind of shows they don't know how to get the characters to interact. They don't know how to build plot and suspense, so they just rely on jump scares and dripping you with information in a stupid way that's really tedious. That you're just like, would you be done already? That's kind of how I feel about this. So, you know what? Stuff it. I'm going to spoil it. Because really, it's not worth. You're never going to watch this movie a second time. That's always a barometer test, isn't it? If you're ever going to go back and watch it and enjoy it, nah, it's a slog. Find another shit movie. At least it's funny. We're going to talk about one tomorrow that at least it's funny and how terrible it is, and it's worth the watch just to have a giggle. This isn't. This is just a slog. So this is the most convoluted plot ever. So the parents lied to Eli about him having this immunodeficiency disease because he's actually a demon. This is how fucking convoluted and weird. And the whole mystery is what happened to the previous patients? Did you cure them all? You know, she basically does that as if, oh no, they're all dead, you know, and they're the ghosts that are haunting them. Load of shite. So it turns out that because the mother, who she's a wooden plank as well, was so desperate for a child that she went and made a pact with the devil, and this wee lad's the spawn of Satan. But the previous 3 spawns of Satan that come to this clinic that they try to cure medically didn't get cured, and then they had to ritually sacrifice them and store their fucking bodies together in a vault. Now they have this weird chamber thing, cell, and they've got this like tub, and it can only hold, like, there's 3 bodies in it when they discover it, and it can only hold maybe 5 or 6 if they sort of cram them in, maybe 7 if they lay one on top. So it's stupid. Secondly, the whole point is, okay, we can't cleanse you this medically, but we can save your soul. Tries to exercise him and then, you know, kill him. But if they save the soul of the other 3, why are they haunting him? Or if they banish demons, why are they haunting him? You know what I mean? So it didn't work. So carrying out the exorcism, and it turns out this is a convent of nuns who pose as nurses, and it's an ancient order, and all's revealed. You know what I mean? It's God. I just realize how stupid this movie is. What's annoying though, Eli, the wee lad that plays Eli, is quite cool because he thinks he's losing his mind because the drugs are pumping into him, and he actually carries it off. He's actually the best character in this. So you've got a child actor out acting adult actors, which, when do you ever see that in a movie? You know what I mean? Normally not way, but it's actually, he comes into his own. He comes into his full power. He starts. There's actually a good payoff. Once he starts fighting back and comes into his demonic powers, the movie actually goes a bit cool. He deals with the nurses / nuns. He deals with his father. And then, you know, he basically goes boss level. That's what's the best way to describe it. Goes boss level, deals with everybody, walks out triumphantly. His mother's in tow, now his servant. The wee girl's waiting outside going, yeah, I couldn't rescue you because you have your in your place. Let's go meet daddy. Try a bit of comedy bit at the end because she can't start the car. And I think she's taught him is a common breathing technique. So she does it in her. And then they drive off in the moonlight. God, this was a shit movie. Yeah, the more I thought about it, I wasn't too sure. Now I've talked about it, I'm like, this is terrible. Yeah. I wouldn't waste your time watching it. If you do, skip to the end for the last 10 minutes because you don't need to watch the beginning. That scene at the motel was shit, pointless. I think if this had been a psychiatric ward instead of the autoimmune thing, and the medical procedure was completely pointless. It's like they're trying to do Prince of Darkness, but with no characterization. So do you know why Prince of Darkness they tried to open the gateway? They tried to explain hell with science. It's almost like they tried to do that, but they hadn't a clue how to do that. That's my kind of best way of trying to rationalize this in my head. And I've only got a tiny brain, so there's only so much crap can fit in it. But yeah, don't waste your time watching this movie. It's really not worth it. But there you go. That's my review. Bit convoluted because I was sitting trying to figure out in my own head how I felt as I went along this going through the plot. But yeah, it's just over convoluted. No need. The good payoff at the end is completely wasted by the struggle uphill you have to go to get there. There you go. Anyway, if you've seen it, let me know what you think. Do you agree, disagree, all that good stuff? Do the like clicky, sherry stuff, commenty, type in whatever you need to do. Yeah, keep up with our segments. We're busy as always. Interviews coming up, more horrific tales coming up. Probably a few unboxings for the end of the month. It's Halloween, but we're getting left out of a lot of stuff in the UK, so I can't really comment. And I don't want to sail the high seas because I'm not an advocacy of that stuff, you know what I mean? If you're going to support or criticize the film industry, at least support it because it's people's jobs at the end of the day. So I'm not going to do anything sketchy just to watch stuff that's not being released in my country. So there you go. Even though it might be a bit limited this month, I'll do what I can. But there you go. Thanks for tuning in. Keep up to date. Until next time, keep it creepy, keep it horrific.